Welcome to the world of the Four Deserts Race Series, the only international ultramarathon series which mixes local culture with trail running. The Four Deserts Race Series is widely recognised as one of the most prestigious outdoor running series in the world. It's made up of four of the most iconic and toughest races in the world: the Sahara Race in Egypt and Namibia, the Gobi March in China and Mongolia, the Atacama Crossing in Chile, and the last desert in Antarctica. Competitors traverse 250 kilometres in 7 days over rough country terrain with only a place in a tent and water provided. They're supported by highly qualified staff, all with experience in hiking, marathons and ultramarathons, and medical teams specialising in wilderness medicine. We're now in China for the second race of the year, the Gobi March in the Great Gobi Desert, which crossed sand dunes and valleys with temperatures of 45 degrees Celsius to forest mountains at almost 3,000 metres above sea level, where temperatures got close to freezing at night.
So I just wanted to welcome you to the Gobi March, China, 2017. It's part of the Four Deserts Race Series, a series of 250-kilometer ultramarathons over 7 days and self-supported. The Gobi March is our oldest event. The first edition was in 2003. This is the 14th edition, and here we are in the yurt camp, the first campsite, to start the 7-day race.
On the first day of the race, staff, athletes and volunteers gathered in Hami City for a technical briefing and final equipment check before leaving for the first camp. Every competitor has a special story. The ones to watch at the front of the field were Benjamin Dame from Germany, Jeff Ross from the United Kingdom in the men's category, and Claire Thompson and Alexandra Schneider from the UK in the women's race. In others, we find some truly inspirational participants like amputee Mr. Kamal Fung from Hong Kong, and the couple, David Nicholson from the UK and Dolores Piez from Argentina, who were celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary.
Very excited, quite nervous about the weather conditions, as I've heard, extremely variable from snow, sandstorms, 45 degrees Celsius on the long stage, so it's going to be quite a challenge. I am very, very excited to be here, and I hopefully can perform to my best abilities and do my family proud.
The first of the 6 stages featured some beautiful and varied landscape. More than 100 athletes took on this stunning route, crossing grassy fields and incredible sand dunes. The athletes gave 100%, and the first across the finish line was Germany's Ben Dame, whilst the first woman home was Britain's Claire Thompson.
I was lucky to finish first, which I'm very proud of. That was the day for me today. I've been looking forward to day 2 tomorrow, which will be a bit longer. And now we have all day pretty much in the camp, recovering, talking to people, eating food, getting the nutrition in, stretching.
It's a marvelous experience. The people are extraordinary. Everyone has a story, everybody works very hard, and it feels quite warm and friendly. So it looks severe, it looks hard, it looks tough, but actually everybody's a marshmallow and looking for a good way to laugh, which is pretty much how I think the world should be.
Four Deserts is not only a running race, it's an international event, and it also introduces the athletes to local and traditional cultures. Small yurt villages, horse-drawn vehicles, and the always smiling local Kazakhs. The second stage was more mountainous, with the route taking the competitors up the Tian Shan mountain range. The athletes ascended through a grassy, lush, green field to a spectacular forest, reaching the summit of the course at 2,900 metres. Again, Ben Dame and Claire Thompson won the stage to lead their respective categories in the overall rankings. It's a gruelling testing event, and the athletes couldn't be without the medical support team.
We have a little bit of concern with the heat that we have coming up. We definitely get concerned of people getting overheated and a little bit of dehydration, but most of the competitors have been training and very prepared for this. We've had a handful of competitors with a variety of blisters, some sore feet, a couple cuts and scrapes from walking through the forest yesterday, but generally people are healthy. They are staying hydrated, getting rest at night, and overall people have been very happy with the course.
And my role here with the company is to do some preparation and planning to make the race as safe as possible. We try to think of every detail we can as far as keeping runners healthy, keeping our volunteers healthy, and hopefully prevent any serious injuries from happening.
More than 100 athletes continued this demanding and tough race through alpine scenery with over 2,000 metres of elevation, just a day after leaving the hot black Gobi where there were temperatures of more than 50 degrees Celsius. On stage 3, the athletes crossed some of the most beautiful landscapes in the region and passed through nomadic villages, local yurts and endless grassy fields with cows, horses and goats. The athletes were ready to take on stage 4, a 45-kilometre route on dirt tracks in deep forests, open fields and with more than 1,000 metres of elevation. They've already completed more than 80 kilometres, so there were some tired legs and aching bones as they stood on the start line. Athletes from around the world had come to compete in this exciting race, including Team Smith Racing from Australia. Two sisters, Alison and Kate, and their brother Reese compete together as a team, running with each other across the Great Gobi Desert.
I told Alison said, well, if you're doing it, I'll do it. And then Reese, same kind of thing.
Basically said, if you two girls are going to go do it, I have to go as well. So.
That's it. peer pressure, really.
That's it, it always works.
We compete quite well. I mean, everyone's sort of got their own little different parts of personality, so they seem to mesh quite well together. So.
There's not too much yelling, not as much yelling as you'd think.
The athletes take some rest before the most difficult stage yet, the long march, 80 kilometres non-stop across the Black Gobi. It was definitely the greatest challenge yet of the Gobi March. 4 deserts are ideal races for the competitors to connect and bond with their contemporaries, sharing stories and comparing injuries perhaps. After the finish line, there was endless discussions and laughs to be had, whilst new friendships were made in the camp after the race. There was a rest day for the athletes, but not for the staff. Many volunteers help the athletes to recover and also are on standby if there is anything that the athletes may need.
Volunteers are one of the most important part of our team. We would not be able to put the race together without having our group of amazing volunteers with us. I don't think that I have to do anything to keep them motivated because of the type of people that they are. If anything, they keep me motivated and they get me excited to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and have the briefing with them and get ready for the day.
It's not just the volunteers who are inspiring, so are many of the athletes. Mr. Fung is a very special man who participates in this race with his wife whilst he wears a prosthetic leg. A remarkable achievement to compete in these grueling races, and it has become an inspiration to many.
其實咧就我本身係一個好中意做運動嘅人嚟嘅，本身就係、其實咧就係、其實我就喺30幾年前嘅一次交通意外咧，係令到我嘅左下肢咧係要截斷。咁其實初嘅時候咧係好有困難嘅。你諗下一個單肢嘅人咧去做一般行走都其實都有啲困難嘅。咁如果係做運動咧係更加難上加難，特別係做到一啲下肢嘅運動。咁其實我都冇諗過自己可以將自己嘅運動咧去繼續運動嘅夢去繼續延伸嘅。
So back to the race, and the last stage lay in front of the competitors. This one, called the Long March, would be the toughest one yet. The athletes had to manage 2 elements, distance and heat. 82 kilometres in the hot desert with temperatures reaching 50 degrees Celsius. The gruesome conditions meant that the athletes all needed solid racing plans combined with endurance and patience.
Currently in second place, feeling okay, few sore muscles. I don't think I'll be able to catch Ben, who's currently in first place. He's way too fast for me, but I'll do my best to stay in second spot.
Currently in third place. Not sure how far ahead of number 4, but It's going okay. Legs feel very tired today, so I think tomorrow will be tough.
Due to the heat, the organisers implemented a 3-hour mandatory stop during the early afternoon. The fastest athletes had already reached checkpoint 5, approximately 50 kilometres from the start when that mandatory stop came into force. Hydration, food and mentally preparing for the rest of the race were key during this stop.
It's a great day, really good day.
It's going to be chilly and fast.
29. Great, it's going to be easy, isn't it, boys? Easy?
It's very low now. It's very high heat. So conserve until the last 10.
The last 20 kilometres of the race were the most exhausting. Having already completed more than 150 kilometres during 4 stages across mountainous terrain, the athletes had to exceed their personal limits. Finally, first across the finish line was Australia's RODRIC Williams, followed by Nicola Chiani from Italy and Miguel Agobert from Spain. In the women's category, the British stars Claire Thompson and Alex Schneider finished together, followed by Michelle Furlong from Australia.
I started off slow and was feeling pretty good, so I just kept going at that pace and managed to come in first, so I'm pretty happy about it. The week's been really good. I've done a lot of different runs, elevation climbs, which has been interesting. Met lots of new friends and I've had a great time overall, so yeah, I'm really happy.
After the last competitor crossed the finish line of the Long March, all the athletes completed the Stage 6 victory through the Great Gobi Desert, where staff, athletes and volunteers celebrated the finish of yet another great Four Deserts event.
I just won the Gobi Desert Race 2017. It's such an amazing feeling. I really pushed this week. You know, I really made plans to make sure that I was always 10 minutes ahead of the girl behind me. She gave me a good run, a good race, and really paced me. So thank you to my competitor Alexandra Schneider for doing that.
Participated to this race as a team, as a team member with 2 other French people. And the main goal for participating as a team in a race like this is to sharing very beautiful moments.